Cool. So we've gotten a lot of missives. Like maybe like 3 or 4 missives.
Sorry, can't take you where you need to get to.
What do you think that thing is?
So what do you think that thing is? What are you talking about? Like the airship, I guess? Yeah, so we have a couple quests here. We have another quest. Oh my god. Get out of your mind. Get out of your mind.
There's something about it.
Alright, so this was determining the scout, if he's gonna remain a scout or not.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Welcome back. Trip wasn't too much of a pain in the arse, I hope. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear, things didn't go quite as planned.
No, they most certainly did not.
Does Ember deserve passing marks? Oh wow, it's actually up to me. This is one of the 2 times that side quests have given us the decision. And again, I'm going to stick with my answer. I don't think so. Like again, using a distraction, yeah, but I'm literally like, he even knew, right, that I was supposed to be tailing him and all that stuff. I just gotta say no. I'm sorry, this is what I believe anyways. I don't think he deserves it for running in there while I'm taking care of the thing. And he knows that I'm taking care of it. I'm literally like the main guy when it comes to liberating, freeing, fighting everything. Like, I'm sorry, I gotta say no.
Faced with an unexpected foe, Ember froze. He did not run. He did not fight.
Yeah.
Had I not been there, he would be dead. It would be too great a risk to send him out on a mission alone.
Thank you, Sid, for your honest appraisal. Ember, you braved the tower and emerged unscathed. Yes, but only because Sid saved your skin. To me, that's no better than being caught red-handed. You failed the test.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade. And any mind can conquer its fears. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conch and a half. Wouldn't do to waste it now.
Fine. One more chance.
I'll do whatever you ask. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to. I'll show you. Just you wait.
Alright. Okay, so, I mean, it wasn't a complete, like, L, but
But in the right place.
I just think realistically it was a bad way to handle his
If
test.
you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
Talking about Gav.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing. Back to work.
There you go. We disapproved.
Sid. This did not play out as I expected.
Things rarely do these days, but that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make the best out of a bad situation. Remember that.
I will, Sid. Thank you.
Quest complete. Trial and error. So this is the only second time we're able to go ahead and make an actual decision during a side quest. They don't seem to have any like real big impact or anything, but I mean,
How may I help you today, child?
maybe there's like, because I don't know if it's one of those like
benefactors of a
illusions of
generous
choice
lot.
or if it actually like does give you something, like it does result in an outcome. Continental acclaim. If the drunken galley captain I shared a table with last night is to be believed, word of your exploits has made its way across the seas of the great continent. Also, there's another continent. Oh shit. What is more, she claims that there are those who would see you flourish, herself being one such woman. Gareth. Who's Gareth? I don't remember, but Genji gloves. Whatever the fuck that means. We'll check it out right
There you
now.
are. All
Whatever
done?
these Genji gloves are, right? Let's see, it's gotta go to items. It's trinkets. It's trinkets. Down here. Genji gloves. Increases damage dealt to enemies by 5%. Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, it's okay, for sure. Well, actually, we have the Cyclone one that does 8%. I think we should actually switch that one out, right? Because it's Cyclone does less damage. Yeah, here we go. But our overall damage will be better. So yeah, we're gonna put these Genji gloves on. Because like, overall the Cyclone will do 3% less damage, but everything else will do 5% more damage, which will cancel it out. View the hunt board. Looks like we got 1 hunt. 2. The Grim Reaper. They're saying among the Imperial soldiers of Northreach Garrison, steer clear of the downed tower, lest the specters sickle reap your root. They speak in typically uncouth terms of the thrall that dwells within the Aether Flood, one whose frightful aspect and command over lesser minions would appear to mark him as a high-ranking member of his species. So it's going to be one of the, not thralls, liches. It's going to be a lich. It's going to be an A-ranked lich. And an A-ranked Knight of the Splendid Heart. Most pilgrims of the holy capital of Oriflamme pass through the Penance Gate on the road from the royal meadows. Of late, however, a knight in shining armor has elected to station himself beside this entrance, accusing any and all passers of being Cid the Outlaw, the one who led Prince Dion down the path of destruction, and challenging them to a duel to the death. And they're both in Sambrec. These are the only ones. I don't know if either of these, like, because I would assume the last bounty hunt would be like an S rank, if not a double S. So I'm thinking maybe there's still even more bounties to come, right? Alright, so here's our next game plan here. We're going to go ahead, we're going to speak to Midodol, get this quest out of the way. Then we're going to accept that last quest that came up in our letters. And once we do all of that, then we're going to round out our session for today. And then we'll finish the rest of the side quests next streaming session.
Mid, tell me this is all you need.
It's not. So we got both the things for her. We got her the oil and then the hide or the adamantite shell.
Tell me this is all you need.
It's most of
No.
After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realized I'd forgotten a 1 and a 0.
Bro, he's literally me right now. He's like, I'm doing all of this side quest. Please, tell me this is it. Please.
And a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Though, that's the problem. Gears that small are a bastard to make. I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
Oh my god.
The children. When they took apart your scales, there was a tiny brass gear.
Oh.
They didn't.
He said they didn't use it. Oh my god.
Together.
The young'uns? But why would they... You know what? I don't want to know. I'll keep working on the model. You go and find that cog.
Okay, so basically we have to go talk to the kids then. Because they, when Clive put the scales back together, he forgot the cog, and then they were all like, oh, he must have not needed it then, I guess.
Cid, is Mid still hiding from us?
She wasn't hiding. She's fine. She's just busy working on her next project.
A new invention? What is it? What is it? Is it an airship? I bet it's an airship!
Do you think she'll let us help?
She's right, it is an airship.
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs something special, something only you 3 can provide. A brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit on, say, a set of scales.
Oh, the one you forgot! We remember!
What are you talking about? I ain't forget none.
Just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
Bag of bits?
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find. All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds, just in case.
Oh my god.
Good to know.
Look.
That's what he meant by the bag of bits.
Found it.
They have a bunch of parts. They're fucking up all these inventions.
Is that all? Just the gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about your hoard. Just in case.
Thanks, Cid.
Alright, cool. So we can give this back to Cid, or Mid, my bad.
Well,
Not as peaceful as that one I like when we're saving Gav, though. That's been my favorite. Brass cogwheel, an overlooked component of Mid's deconstructed scales. Its purpose remains a mystery to all but Mid.
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe. Will it work?
Will it work? He's perfect! You're a genius, Clive.
What exactly are you going to use it for?
Only the most important job of all. The wings aren't going to move on their own. But with the right cog in the right place, well, you just wait and see.
So we're gonna be able to fly with the ship, huh? And she's using wings on it.
That should do it.
Now this is a full-fledged cutscene here.
Here goes nothing.
Where are the wings? Or is she talking about the propellers?
Titan's tits.
The Titan's tits. What the fuck?
Wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that. It's just tough to, you know, put together.
It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other.
Oh, that's what she means. I mean, I guess, yeah, I could see that.
Children, their mums, and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head? Or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
Imagine how scary it'd be.
Dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this.
In every world. That's what I'm doing right now, man. Chasing a dream.
When this is over, I'm gonna take all my mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out.
Kind of like what her and her dad would do. Hiding stuff all over the place.
Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
So she's gonna build it, but then she's gonna get rid of it all. And then, like, make it a super hard, like, you know, fucking IQ test. Or maybe just, like, a dumb play on words or something. For them to try and find wherever she put the parts and the plans.
If I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for.
So she is gonna build it,
It
though.
couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one.
Yeah.
And I reckon I've got
Yeah, I
a fair
agree
few
with
good
that.
ones left in me.
I'm sure you do.
There you go, quest complete. Aiming high. Looks like we're almost leveled up here. Model airship. Mid's dangerous dream of flight immortalized in miniature. My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. That's a good saying, honestly. Because if you're not chasing a dream, you're not really like aspiring to everything or to anything, right? So you're kind of just going day by day. I think that's what it really means, like shuffling to your grave. You know, if you're not dreaming, if you're not trying to reach a bigger goal, if you don't have something you want to do with your life, then you're just living every day, day by day. You know? That's why having a plan, dreaming, having a goal, it all matters. Not to make someone else's life feel like something, although that could be your dream, but for you yourself to feel fulfilled whenever, you know, everything's said and done. We got Gav. He's got a mission.
You alright?
Silver linings.
Something troubling you?
No more than usual. It's just... Eda's baby.
Oh, Eda's baby.
I wanted to make something for it.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bairn was on the way. Yeah,
a bairn? That's what they call a kid or a baby.
In the new homes, like.
So, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that Eda's due any day now, and I don't know if I'll be ready in time.
Offer Gav to complete the
Is
gift.
there anything I can do to help?
You know, there just might be.
All right then. What exactly are we making?
A good luck charm. But not just any good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One made from the feather of a silver chocobo.
Oh no. Ambrosia.
It's lucky in all the realm, or so we used to say back home anyway. Thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their suppliers, but nothing. I'd try and track one down myself, only...
Only the big day is fast approaching. And that's all you need. A feather.
That or the bird whose arse it's attached to, aye. I was gonna start by asking around with traveling traders plying the northern borders.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha's. I think I might make that my first port of call. I'll let you know if I find anything.
You're a good friend, Clive. I won't forget this.
I don't get it. If he just needs to, you know, ding off Ambrosia, why not just give him a feather from Ambrosia? There you go. Cut. It's done. Right? Let's go get this letter, and then once we get this letter, we'll be done for today. We'll go look at the missives real quick, I guess. See how much it's filled up. So we got a couple. A fine hound. The two of you have been together for what probably feels like a lifetime now, but there's still a lot you have to learn about the hound of yours. He'd step in front of a bloody raging behemoth if it meant protecting you. But that don't mean you should take it for granted. At the end of the day, he's a hound. And sometimes he just wants someone to pat his head and rub his belly and give him a handful of Koopo nuts. You do good to remember that. Karen. That's true. That's very true. A new day. I'm not so foolish to believe that a single shaming at the hands of the town urchins can dispel a lifetime of hatred built up in one's heart, just as a pot cannot be made clean by reminding it of its crime. It takes effort, persistence, and more often than not, a stiff brush and bucket of lie. But more than that, it takes time. Fortunately, your courage and leadership has granted us just that. We must now decide whether to embrace it or waste it. A wise man once said that night is always darkest before the dawn. It's a good thing that I count one who burns so bright amongst my friends, Lubor. That which conquers all. Here, not long removed from when you last placed yourself between us and peril, I sit and pen yet another letter in which I try to find the words to somehow express the gratitude of our entire town. Still, something feels different about our latest triumph. Where in the past we leaned ever so heavily upon your good graces, this time we found strength elsewhere in ourselves. Our hardship has shown us that which should have been apparent all along. We are not as different as we want to believe. Does a peasant love his homeland any less than a noble? Does a bearer love his family any less than another man does his own? It is this love that has united us and given us true strength. Should every thrall, Akashic bandit, and brigand in the realm come charging our gates, we will not fret, we will not falter, we will fight, and we will win. Isabel, aka Carla. My beloved sons, we read this one. This was the father's will. And concern for Jill. Yes, finally, more Jill. Dude, we've had, like, no Jill development ever since she took revenge on the Iron Kingdom. Though her icon brought her much suffering, the loss of Shiva weighs heavy on her heart. So she's lost Shiva. Although, I think they said... I forgot who said it. But I think they said, like... You can turn into them, but you have no control into your dominant icon. Whatever. The loss of Shiva weighs heavy on her heart, and we would be poor friends indeed if we did not seek to lighten that burden. Even but only a fraction before we depart for the skies, I would speak on this more in private, Joshua. So we'll accept that, and we have one more letter to read.
About Jill, I should go and speak with him.
And this quest only came up after we finished one of the other ones. I'm assuming maybe the one of our father's will. And then maybe if we do this, we'll get that same pop-up when we did the dad quest, where we saw his grave, where it was like, oh, blah will join you until you're at origin or whatever, right? Oh yeah, look, these are filled up nicely. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go, and I think we have like 7 or 8 side quests left. So I'm thinking maybe if we do all of the bounties, maybe the Kupo will give us something to remember, like in our wall here, but I'm not too sure. We have the Vale signboard, which is the biggest signboard by far. The Emblem of the Vale, Northreach's far-famed House of Ill Repute. The town is the gateway to Imperial capital of Orflam. Waves the old money, new money. However, the Vale's proprietor, Isabel, knows it best as a safe haven in Storm. The town that took her in and the man she loved when the rest of the world shunned them. So it does. The description is a little different, but it's not a lot different. Briar's Kiss signboard. The emblem of Briar's Kiss, the finest forge in Delmo, run by puckish and precocious young forge master Lubor. He inherited both his forge and the role of the Desert Hare from his predecessor, the original Rosena Delamil. Though the mayoralty of Delamil, he won entirely by his own merit. Jeez, I could not say that word. Rusted battle helms. This is Archduke Elwin's helm, worn in his victorious campaign to quell the Northern Uprising, and later laid to rest upon his memorial stone. Now it sleeps in Clive's chambers, a constant reminder of the bravery and selflessness of the man in whose footsteps he and his brother mean to follow. Model airship. Mid's dangerous dream of flight, immortalized in miniature, though the experiment ended in failure, Mid has allowed Clive to keep hold of the model so that once her renown has grown, he might sell the piece for an exorbitant amount of gil. We have the Triunity Accord, signed in Port Isolde by representatives from Rosaria, Dalmacia, and Sambrec. This mutual accord sets the stage for a new age in Storm, if not officially, then at least in spirit. It's like a little treasure box, where you put like jewelry or something. Medicine chest. A beautifully carved chest that opens and reveals countless compartments full of tonics and tinctures. As Clive often proved a difficult patient, reluctant to come to the infirmary, Tarja commissioned this curio that might take a part of the infirmary with him. So there's a bunch of little like salves, tonics, calms, curatives, and restoratives, some might say. And she put them all in a little box, which is nice. And then last but not least for today, the charred sparring sword that we found with Torgal. Clive's old sparring sword salvaged by Torgal in the aftermath of the Ironblood invasion and hidden at Clive's original hideaway, the Rookery. It is a reminder of who Clive once was and who he has become, as well as of the unbreakable bond between lifelong friends, being him and Torgal. So far so good. It looks like the table's filling up. Maybe there's like one thing that fits in between Wade's scarf and then your dad's helmet. Maybe another signboard or two that gets to be sat in front of the table itself, and then maybe one thing on each side of the crystal you had with Sid where you made the promise, right? So yeah, there's a couple things left to be maintained here on the missives, but not too many left, and hopefully we can round them out with the rest of the side quests here. Let's see, do we have anything else we have to do here? Talking to Joshua about this quest with, with Jill. So we'll go ahead and save that for tomorrow, along with all the quests we have for Reload. Let's take a look real quick at what that's going to look like. We have the quest here with Jill. Another one that popped up here. I forgot what it was, but it's one that we acquired recently. So we'll have those two. We have 3, 4, and then 5, 6. So we're going to have... We basically did half of the side quest today, and we've been streaming for 6 hours. So we'll probably... And we did acquire like 2 or 3 also. So we've done a little bit more than half that were given to us, but then more sprouted up. So it's probably going to take another 2 or 3 hour session to actually get rid of all these side quests. So that'll be the next session. And then after that, oh, and the bounties that popped up too in the Moogle board, the hunting bill. And then, so that'll probably be another 2 or 3 hour session next time whenever it's cold enough for me to play or the AC's fixed. And then after that, take down the bounties, and then once that's all said and done, we'll have our final session of pushing into Origin Central Valistea. We'll be finishing the game with a webcam. So if you guys find any of that interesting, please stay tuned. Hopefully we can collect the rest of the missives and all of that. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today on our session of Final Fantasy 16. I hope to catch you guys next time, and have a great rest of your days. Peace.